Let me take care of this, Mr. Tesla. I'll go teach him a lesson.
Let them be, Zito. It's not their fault. George, get together all the people you know as quickly as possible and bring them here. Tell them Tesla is going to torture his guests with electricity. They will all come, you will see.
Mr. Enrico Caruso, Mr. Nikola Tesla.
Bravo, Tesla, mio caro.
Mr. Ignace Paderewski, Mr. Nikola Tesla.
How do you do?
Mr. Samuel Clemens, alias Mark Twain, Mr. Nikola Tesla.
What a pleasure, Mr. Tesla.
For all the pleasure you have given me in your books, I am very much indebted to you, Mr. Clemens.
I'm glad to hear I have one debtor, mostly. I'm blessed with creditors.
Is there anything you need, Mr. Clemens?
I had hoped I'd see a few of my critics here. I was thinking I'd recommend them for the electric chair.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
George.
Catherine. Bob.
Hello, Nick.
I'm curious, Nicky. What is it that you plan to do this evening?
Catherine, I am now considered an executioner.
I've never believed that for a moment.
Go on in.
Mr. Jack Wilson, Mr. Nikola Tesla.
What is it, George?
Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thanks. I have mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, here in front of me you see 2 electrodes. When I switch on the electric current, there will be a tension of 1 million volts between them. That is alternating current. Now, if I touch the electrodes with my hands, what do you think will happen? Ladies and gentlemen, if my electric current kills, then I deserve to be its victim myself.
Nicky! Don't. Please. I beg you.
Mr. Morgan is waiting in his study. He's here, Commodore.
Wait a minute. Ready.
Mr. Tesla.
You don't shake hands, they tell me. Why?
For reasons of health, Commodore.
Edison here tells me you're always washing your hands 20 times a day, and every time there's got to be a fresh towel. I don't have to ask if you two know each other.
Oh, we know each other all right.
They also tell me you don't take any coffee or tea. So what can I offer you?
Some whiskey, perhaps.
Oh. Makes you sound almost human. Tom, give your friend here some whiskey. You know, some people are sure that you're crazy. Others think you're a faker. Now, both those things could be true, and you still could be some kind of a genius. Sit down, Mr. Tesla. I'd like to know what makes you tick. You know what Edison says about genius?
Yes, one of his pet quotations.
Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. He says you don't perspire enough. And for a scientific conclusion, he says you don't use any brain work at all. Instead, how did you put it, Tom?
Well, ask Tesla. According to him, he says he gets mental pictures.
Mental pictures, that's the word, with everything complete, down to the smallest detail. Is that how it happened with that brushless, commutatorless motor of yours? It says here, Tom, that the whole thing just appeared to Mr. Tesla. Some kind of vision.
It was really more like a flash of lightning.
And you got this vision, or flash, suddenly, in the middle of a poem you happen to be reciting out in the street somewhere in Hungary?
Yes, it was Goethe.
What?
He's a German author. I'll send you a translation, if you like.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Tesla.
The motor was turning in a huge...
Have your whiskey, Mr. Tesla.
Oh, thank you very much. The motor spun in a huge whirlwind of electricity, a rotating magnetic field, tremendous energy produced by a balance of alternating currents.
Alternating current.
He got the patent 6 years later, and every detail was just the way it appeared to him in that first mental picture. Adam's got the whole story for me.
What is that thing you're reading there?
It's the file we put together on Mr. Tesla. I never go into anything blind, Tom. You know me well enough to know that. It says here that when he's still working for you, you gave Mr. Tesla a problem to solve for you.
Well, what of it? I give my people problems all the time.
Well, this one must have been important. Maybe something you couldn't work out for yourself?
Who says so? Where'd you get that story?
We talked to people in your shop.
Oh, I could have solved that thing easily, but as it so happens, I was busy with a lot of other problems at the time, like I always am.
The way we heard it, you told Mr. Tesla if he'd work it out for you, you'd give him $50,000. And then when he did, you said he didn't understand the American sense of humor.
That is not the reason we quarreled. I am not interested in money.
Aren't you? Well, I am. The point is that you quit working for Edison. Now it's been suggested you start working for me. Sit down, Tom. I haven't quite finished yet. Yes, Tom?
Frankly, Commodore, I'm beginning to wonder what the hell I'm doing here.
Well, I didn't think it would be fair to hold this meeting without you.
Well, am I right? It's about the steelworks in Pittsburgh.
Well, we're still waiting for the electric power, Tom. They can't wait for it.
Neither can I. It's been over 5 months now since I submitted my plans to the committee.
Mr. Tesla has some different ideas.
Different? Well, I guess that's one word for it.
You know what he did at the Chicago World's Fair? It's all in here.
Yes. Up to that time, there were no large polyphase generators in existence.
I'd rather hear it from Mr. Tesla.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I took 24 500-horsepower generators. Single-phase generators, that is. Coupled them all in pairs and then hooked them up so the circuits would be 90 degrees out of phase.
Translate that into English.
It means I made the equivalent of 12 two-phase generators, each with 1,000 horsepower.
It was the first World's Fair in history to be lit by electricity.
Well, now, isn't that funny? Right up to this very minute, I was always under the impression that electric light was something that I invented.
Of course.
And now I find that Mr. Tesla here discovered it. Where the hell do you come off with a report like that on a subject